What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Happy Monday, people. And as you know, people, I've always rated him ever since he was coming through the youth system at Arsenal. I've said, listen, this boy is special. Number 14, England's future striker. He's going to be an Arsenal legend. Well, maybe I called him Eddie Murphy, Norbit. Said sell him for 10 million to Crystal Palace. Get rid of him as quick as possible and get Ivan Toney through the door. But you know what I mean, people. Happy Monday anyway. To be honest, I should go in a 3-minute timeout. I'm a disgrace and I cheat. And I hope Brighton get relegated, as Ty once famously said. But listen, whoever said I don't pay homage to Eddie and Nketiah, people? You know what I mean? Listen, all jokes aside, he deserves his flowers for today. I can't promise what's going to happen on Wednesday when we play against West Ham. But for now, he's getting his flowers. He's definitely getting his flowers for today. The King of Zamunda, Akeem, I am a prince. Anyway, people, big up to everyone locked in today. Hope you've had a great weekend. And listen, my thoughts go out on this Monday morning with Manchester United fans. I mean, listen, them man there have literally walked into your house with dirt on their trainers, dirtied up the cream carpet, took the apple juice out the fridge. Now they're sleeping in your bed and you're on the sofa. I mean, Manchester City yesterday. I was going to ring Sky and say, listen, it says here listed at 3:30 there's going to be a Manchester derby because all I watched was a training session. That was a Manchester City training session on TV yesterday. Evans and Maguire in 2023. I mean, listen. We've had problems over the years, but boy, let me not speak. The roof's leaking. They can't get the Glazers. It's mad. It's mad, people. Beating Man City at home is not for everybody. That is for sure. Big up to everyone locked in. Your thoughts on Ngannou Fury fight? I thought he won the fight. And I know from a boxing perspective, some people will say, well, you know, maybe Fury landed more punches. But I thought he took the fight to him. I thought he bullied him. Considering the guy isn't a boxer, I thought it was an unbelievable performance. But the reality is this. Boxing, and I know I say this about football, by the way, boxing is possibly even more corrupt than football. The powers that be do not want a guy from MMA beating Tyson Fury. They want Tyson Fury to fight Usyk in Saudi Arabia for crazy amounts of money. They can't have the money train being derailed by a guy from MMA. This is just supposed to be an exhibition. They ain't going to give him the win if it goes to a points decision. The only way Ngannou was going to win is if he sparked him out and he didn't get up. So, listen, in my eyes, he won the fight, but he was never going to win the fight. You know, there's a money train there, and they ain't going to let it be derailed by, you know, in their eyes, a guy that does wrestling. So, I think we all know who the true winner was that night, to be fair. Listen, big up to everyone locked in. Big up AT, who's a new member of the channel. Welcome to the community, of course. And big up to Fitzjoseph. All Eddie did on Saturday was show his level, championship. As for Havertz, League One. Now, Fitz, I've told you before, and I'll tell you again. I'll say it again, Fitz. You need to start being honest about how you truly feel about this club. Holding back ain't going to get us nowhere. It's just not, Fitz. You need to let the clip off and say what you really feel. There's me. I've started a show. I've slandered Eddie for about 2 years. He scores a hat-trick. I'm trying to give him his flowers. Shameless flowers. Fitz kicks the door down and says, listen, nothing more than a championship player. Fitz, do you know what, right, Fitz? I actually am kind of in agreement with you a little bit. I wouldn't go as far as championship. He is a Premier League striker, in my opinion. But I got a message on Sunday afternoon from a friend of mine. And he rates Eddie a little bit higher than me. And he messaged me saying, see, he's proved you wrong. You was wrong about him. I said, bro, let me just get one thing into perspective here. And this isn't me taking anything away from what Eddie did. He's going to get his flowers today, as you've seen. A bad game doesn't make you a bad player, and a great game doesn't make you a great player. Eddie and Nketiah had a great game on Saturday against the worst team in the Premier League. That's facts. That's facts. That's not me. You've got an agenda. No agendas. He had a great game against the worst team in the league. right? He hasn't all of a sudden become a world beater. I know I started the show with him with the Henry shirt on. If you said to me right now, I give you Ivan Toney January 1st, Eddie Nketiah goes, I'm snapping your arm off for that deal. That hat trick does not change my overall opinion on Eddie. What it does, it can potentially act as a building block for him. It's about what he does from this point going forward. But listen, Eddie will get his flowers today, but I'm in the same place with Eddie as I was before that game, if I'm being honest. But, it was a great game. As for Havertz, listen. I remember when I was a kid, I used to play Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Still, in my opinion, the best Grand Theft Auto ever. Just unbelievable. And if you was like me and you played that game, I used to have a piece of paper next to me with all the cheat codes. So when my wanted level got too high and the helicopter came out, I was like, yo, I'm going to get caught. Up, down, left, right, R1, R2, whatever. All of a sudden, police disappeared. I've ran out of codes for Kai Havertz. I've pressed R1, up, down, left, right, L1, R2. I've pressed everything. Nothing works. The wanted level's too high. There's a criminal offence. There should be police. There should be helicopters. There should be lawyers, solicitors. There should be everyone outside Stamford Bridge today because we've seen fraud of the highest level in front of our eyes, people. And no one's been arrested for it. I've never seen anybody spend £65 million on Neil from the In-Betweeners. The giraffe. I've got nothing left when it comes to Kai Havertz. People were saying online, he put in some good tackles. I said, this guy ain't a defensive midfielder. He ain't Declan Rice. You know what I mean? He ain't Declan Havertz. Like, he put in a couple good tackles. What about going forward? He playing against championship players on Saturday. He did nothing. But anyway, let me not listen. We're here to celebrate Eddie. Let me not start about Havertz. But I want somebody should be in for questioning this afternoon. I want to know. What the hell is Kai Havertz doing at this club since he's joined? I can't. You guys still talk about it. It's a bad L. Is it one of them people where, when you go out, maybe when you was younger, I don't go out that much anymore, but when I was younger, sometimes you go out. And you see me, I always used to say, champagne taste, lemonade pocket. This is when I was younger. Obviously, things are better for me now, of course. But when I was younger, when I was in the club, I wanted to look like I was balling. But deep down, the council tax and the electricity was being spent. But maybe that night in the club, I had a couple champagne bottles in my pocket. I was taking pictures. They was going, yo, this guy's a baller. You wake up the next morning, you look in your pocket, you go, oh my God, look at that receipt. I spent 250 on a bottle of Moët. It's only £30 in Tesco. Now I can't even put the heating on. I better put 2 jumpers on. I think we've just got to write it off and put it down to experience, people, with Kai Havertz. We've been done. We ain't getting our money back. We ain't going to be able to sell him for the time being. The best thing you do, you just write it off and you put it down to experience and you learn from your mistakes. You wanted to take the picture with the bottle of Grey Goose or the bottle of Moët. Look like the baller, get your likes up. Probably MySpace days. MySpace, Facebook, You've just got to put it down to experience. You've blown your rent money. You've blown the rent money, people. It's as simple as that. No money back, no nothing. You're stuck with him. That's the best I can give you right now. But at least buying that Moët might have got you, you might have grabbed something decent at the end of the night. There's nothing there. This is empty-handed. But let me not say too much before I get in trouble anyway, people. But hey, hope you're having a good Monday. I'm going wayward here anyway. Bleck said, I swear Chelsea have something on Arsenal. They're blackmail. I reckon they're blackmailing us. They've bailed us out of financial difficulty at some point. I'm convinced. They must ring us and go, yo, listen, mate, we got one here. You're going to have to buy him. They're like, please, not Havertz. They're like, listen, what did we do for you in 2012? You lot was going to go bankrupt and we lent you that 100 million. So listen, we want 65 million in the account by 9 a.m. Otherwise, we're going to let the story out how we own half of your club. Something's going to come out. But anyway, I'm waffling. I mean, the name's so long here. I'm just going to call you Top Man. He said, Zubimendi is the truth. Let's speak on him. We're going to get there, my friend. Don't worry. And SG said, Arteta needs a Guantanamo Bay interrogation. Something has to go on. Big up SG and big up Top Man. Just think as bad. We are not as bad as Man United having Leicester's old centre-back pairing of Maguire and Evans. It's crazy, you know. The crazy thing about that game yesterday, I wanted Man United to win that game. I turned that game on and I said, right, I want Man United to win. Because Man United, we're not seeing Man United this season. They're a mess. So I was like, you know what? We're trying to win the league. We need City to get beat. As I'm watching the game, I'm like, what the hell is this? And it got to the point in the end where I said, you know what, Man City, you've won the game already. You might as well destroy them. So by the end of the game, I was like, I hope Man City beat them 7-0. Just embarrass them. Just demolish them. It was a training session. It was embarrassing. Tchouameni's out for 2 months. Could work in our favour. They may think he's injury prone, unreliable. Sell him. You know, if I was you, Real Madrid, I'd get rid of him. I'd reduce the price as well. Following said, Curtis, Mason Mount or Kai Havertz this season. Who you picking? I mean, they both stink. They both absolutely stink. They're as bad as each other. It's like the Spider-Man picture where they're pointing at each other, you know, the meme. They're as bad as each other. Anyway, I've waffled on long enough. Eddie, yo, what the hell? Yo, Eddie's making me jump there on my shoulder, people. I can't believe it. Neto's out injured as well, so there you go. Ivan Toney is the only one left, people. Anyway, let's concentrate on the game first and we'll work our way forward. Before we do talk about the game, though, and the player ratings, big shout out to these two tonight. Martin Odegaard and... I'm forgetting man's name now. Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka. They have been nominated for the Ballon d'Or. And they will be at the Ballon d'Or Awards tonight, which, by the way, I'm just putting it out there, and I know some of you may go crazy, but I think Messi should win Ballon d'Or. I know it causes a lot of controversy. I'm going to explain my reasons briefly in a minute. But listen, these two are up for the Ballon d'Or. I mean, the only way Odegaard can win the Ballon d'Or is if he actually turns up to the event. He's been trick-or-treating for the last 3 weeks, but sorry, I couldn't help it. You know, he'd probably win the Ballon d'Or and he's not there. He's ghosted. Obviously, he's not going to win the Ballon d'Or. But listen, they've been nominated. So congratulations to them. I think Ramsdale's been nominated for goalkeeper as well. The guy hasn't played a game for how long, but listen, shout out to them too. I think 2 of the women's players have been nominated as well. So good luck to them. Why do I think Messi should win the Ballon d'Or? I'm going to explain this briefly, why I think he should. Haaland scored 50 goals. There's people crying on social media. He should win the Ballon d'Or. And I do understand it, but here's why I don't think he should. Do I think another striker could score 50 goals in all competition at Manchester City? I do. I do, people. I think Mbappe, I think Lewandowski, I think Harry Kane. I think they could score 50 goals in all competition playing for Man City with the amount of chances they create. Now, I know they haven't at Man City, but I think they could. Do you think there is a guy that at 35 years of age can lead his country to the World Cup and win player of the tournament? What we saw in that World Cup is something you'll probably never see again. The last World Cup of his career, he leads Argentina to the World Cup. He wins player of the tournament. It's something else. It's absolutely something else what we saw there. He got 32 goal contributions in 32 games in France. Yeah, we can say it's a farmers league, but he can only deal with what's in front of him. Messi's going to win it. And listen, all I can say, man, Haaland, your time will come. You'll win it next year or the year after. Let's go out with a bang. I'm giving it Messi. Some people will say it's, you know, I'm a massive Messi fan. I think he's the GOAT. I really do. That 35-year-old led his country to the World Cup. Carried them. He left that World Cup with that jacket on like royalty. Haaland scoring 50 goals, mate. I genuinely... Listen, I'm taking nothing away from it. We've never seen it really in this country. But what Messi did was special beyond belief. That was more than football. I'm with you. Lee said it's more... Messi is more than a footballer. He's an inspiration for all. Messi all the way, man. But anyway, let's forget that. Forget Messi. We're going higher than Messi, people. Messi's about here. We're going way up here today. Edward and Nketiah. They've begged for you to get your flowers on this channel. You got the intro picture. You got the green screen. And now you're going to get the highest rating you have ever had on Curtis Shaw TV, my friend. So if anybody from Arsenal is tuned in from today, I am nice to the players when they play well. But when you score 3 goals in 30 games, it's very difficult for me to be nice. But now you've got 3 in 1 game. Sheffield United. The blades were about as blunt as a spoon, people. They might as well just go to the Championship now. They might as well just get there early. It's like, just get there early. You might as well get there. We'll meet you there in August. They're on their way out. This was not a team that is going to do anything in the Championship, in the Premier League, sorry. 1 point from 10 games. They stink right now, Sheffield United. It's pointless them being in this division. No shots on target. You might as well just shoot from kickoff at this point and get a shot on goal. 2 shots, 32%. But they've got absolutely nothing. I didn't see one player in their team that I thought, maybe he'll get a move next season. They are shocking. And 13 shots for Arsenal, 8 on target, 5 goals, 68% possession, 659 passes, blah, blah, blah. Let's get to the player ratings. These are going to be quite easy because nobody really, well, maybe one, they'll all be reasonably decent ratings. Let's start with David Raya. All right, Dave. Only fools and horses settings. I said he would start. I said he'd keep a clean sheet. I said he'd have nothing to do. One thing I'll give him credit for, distribution was superb. Some of those long passes that he played were brilliant. I think this was the perfect game to boost his confidence. Said it time and time again. You may think Ramsdale's better, you may think Raya's better, but the one thing we've got to all admit is David Raya's the number one. No matter who we think is better, this guy is the number one. I'll give him a 7. The only reason I'm not going higher, he didn't have a shot on target. He collected a couple of crosses and he sprayed a couple good passes. He basically had nothing to do. He could have laid on the floor and just had a nap and they still wouldn't have scored. So I give him a 7. The distribution was very good. Couple crosses, no shots on target. He didn't have a save to make. He gets a 7. It was a solid performance and I hope he uses it as a confidence boost. Is this true? Costa said he's got more clean sheets at home than Ramsdale. Wow, that's unbelievable. It's an easy 7. Easy 7. Let's go to... here we go. Let's go Benny Blanco at right back. I mean, do you know, I'm going to save us all some time. I'm going to say Ben White, 7 out of 10. Easy day at the office. Came off towards the end of the game. Zinchenko, I thought, did quite well, actually. I'll give Zinchenko 7.5 just because I thought he did a bit better on the ball than Ben White. Kivior. I want to give Kivior some credit, I thought Kivior played well. Again, he's not really playing against much, but I think when you've got an opportunity to give him some game time, you need to, because if Gabriel ends up getting injured, then you're going to have to play him. Yeah, Ben White did nearly score a cracker. That would have been an 8. So I'm going to give Kivior 7.5 as well. Just for vibes, really, and a confidence boost. Saliba, I know, I hate to do this. It's like somehow when I get to Saliba, I always rate him higher than the rest of the defence, and it seems like favouritism. But he's just too good, man. I'm sorry. I got to give him an 8. He's dribbling out. He's turning the striker like he's not even there. Maybe it's bias at this point, but he gets an 8. I'm sorry. He's too good. He might as well just hang the shirt up and just say, don't even wash it. I didn't break a sweat. Right, let's go into the midfield. Oh, God. This is like the good, the bad, and the ugly. I mean, I wouldn't say Smith Rowe was bad. The good, the average, and the ugly. We'll start with, I mean, it's Halloween tomorrow. Let's get the ugly performance out the way. I mean, I don't know. That's all I can say is I don't know. I don't know what to say about the way he plays. I don't know whether it's ever going to go well. I don't know what position you play him. I don't know if Do you just bench him? I don't know. He joined in the Halloween celebrations. He did an Odegaard. He disappeared. Anyone got a solution for Kai Havertz? Because I'm lost. I'm playing hide and seek. I can't find anyone. I've counted to 30. I'm looking. I can't find him. Don't get me wrong. He didn't play shocking. I'm not going to rate him at a 2 or a 3. It's not like he got the ball and made mistakes. I'd probably give him a 5. I think he was below average. And you're talking about the worst team in the Premier League at the Emirates. And I'm giving him a 5. I agree with you, Adam. He said play him up front. That's it. I've said it before and I say it again. You are not getting a thing out of Havertz in midfield. Not a damn thing. You ain't getting a thing out of him in midfield. He is not the guy in midfield. I would rather play El Neni over Havertz. Honestly. And I don't rate El Neni at all. You ain't getting nothing out of Havertz in midfield. Play him up front. False 9. Hold the ball up. Link up play. If he ain't there, bench him. And that's all you've got. They're your 2 options for me. That's all you've got with Havertz. I think he can play up front as a link-up player. I think he can hold the ball up. Apart from that, put him on the bench and forget it. Just write the money off. It's a tax write-off. He'll balance the books by April. That's it. Let's move on. It's what he does off the ball, though, Curtis. If you can't see it, you don't understand football. Yeah, I mean, that one can only run for so long, can't it? This was Sheffield United. Anyway, Smith Rowe. ESR. I mean, I'm ESR FC, so I'm a little bit biased. And he got an assist. Yeah, it was a 5-yard pass to Eddie Nketiah, but I'm giving him some credit. I'm going to give him 6 out of 10. He was better than Havertz, but he wasn't great. I needed more from ESR. In his defence, he hasn't started a Premier League game for over a year. And you know what? This is what I want to say about ESR, because I am a little bit of an ESR defender. Did you know, at the end of last season, 2022 was it? No, the end of the season before, ESR was nominated for Young Player of the Year. So, a year and a half ago, he was nominated for PFA Young Player of the Year. That's the level the guy is capable at. All I would say from this point, he didn't play great. He was average. He got an assist. He looks good on the stats. He needs more game time. He looked rusty to me. He looked like, a car on a cold morning. The engine needs to run for a little bit. You can't just start revving it straight away. And maybe we're trying to rev the engine a little bit. So, a bit rusty, 6 out of 10. Usual. Yeah, it's like going to the pub. What do you want, mate? The usual, Declan? Yeah, I'll have the usual. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Declan, he's just brilliant, isn't he? Got an assist. Came off. Got a rest towards the end. He's the captain without the armband. Whatever anyone says to me, he's the skipper. He's the leader of this team right now. Decker's 8 out of 10. I think you've got to start having the conversation of signing of the season. In the whole league, by the way, I'm talking about. I think him and Maddison, 2 of the best this season. He's just an absolute baller. And I'll be honest, he's actually better than I thought he was. I've said it many times. I thought he was a very good workhorse, but he's a better footballer than I thought he was. Yeah, honestly, they should send people to the Emirates because we've robbed them at 105 million. This guy's an absolute monster of a player. Let's go to the front 3. I thought Martinelli played well. Yeah, I thought Martinelli played well, actually. He was lively. I thought he was badly injured at one point. I was really concerned about Martinelli. He did come off, but I think he's all right. I had 7.5 written down, but I'm almost tempted to give him an 8. I thought he was good, but then he didn't score. I'm going to give him an 8. I thought he was the one that looked most likely to make something happen. Yeah, I'm going to give him an 8. I'm going to give Martinelli an 8. Just because he's one of my favourite players anyway. So maybe I'm being biased. Let's go to Saka. He had the armband on. I don't think he was that good again. He wasn't bad. He wasn't bad. I had 6.5 written down on my scraper. I don't think he was any better than that. I'm struggling to even get a 7 out for Saka. I've given him a 6.5 because he had the armband on. It's probably a 6, to be honest. I thought Saka was average again. He's having a little quiet spell, isn't he? But he needs to come out of that. We've got 2 tough games this week. West Ham away on Wednesday, Newcastle away on Saturday. We can't afford Sakaka. Sakaku, they're calling him. You know what I mean? We need more than that. Yeah. Here we go. Edward. Let me get his full name up again. When it gets serious, I need full names. His name is Edward Cheddar and Nketiah. Edward. Oh, Cheddar. Why was I calling him Cheddar? That was probably the nickname I gave him. It's Cheddar, but we'll call him Cheddar. You know, cheese. It's a bit more catchy, isn't it? Edward, Cheddar and Nketiah, we're calling him. Hat-trick hero, England international, number 14. I've had a very, well, how should we say? I've had a very up and down sort of relationship, as in I've wanted this guy out of the club pretty much the whole time I've watched him. But, you know, you could say this was a Cheddar performance. I said it's a dad joke, innit? I can't help it. I'm there now. Edward Shaw and Nketiah, they're saying in the comments. 10 out of 10. I'm going to take a sip. I'm going to leave you all for a second just to handle that. It's a 10, people. It's a 10. I never thought I'd see the day, to be honest, that I'd be giving Eddie and Nketiah a 10 out of 10. It's a hat-trick. It's a hat-trick. Let me just break things down in perspective, by the way. First goal, first touch is outstanding. Austin Trusty, I mean, he played more like Austin Powers. I'm going to be real. He played more like Austin Powers. No wonder we got rid of him. Sorry, Austin Trusty. I spoke to him briefly on tour in America. Seems like a cool guy, but we saw on Saturday afternoon why we got rid of him. Eddie does him for the first one. Good finish. Second one, ball rebounds to him. Good finish. Third goal, best goal I've ever seen Eddie and Nketiah score. Best goal. Absolutely. If Jesus, Martinelli, Saka score that, we're going absolutely mental. So I'm not going to downplay it because it's Eddie. It's an absolute belter. Austin Krusty, they're calling him. Yeah, baby, yeah. I've lost my mojo. He definitely lost his mojo on Saturday afternoon. That brother could not defend to save his life. Austin Trusty, you know, damn. Eddie gets a 10. Eddie gets a 10. Outstanding. What a hat-trick. Now, let's go to the subs and the manager. I want to get... And you know what? I'll go through the rest first. Elneny, Nelson came on kind of late, didn't do much. I'll give them a 6. Fabio Vieira, I'll give him a 7. Scored his penalty, celebrated. I believe he's just had a baby boy, so big up to him. To be honest, I didn't think he had a kid in him. He's that skinny. But hey, maybe that's where all his energy's gone. Maybe that's why, you know, he's got no weight left. He's you know, working hard at home by the look of it. But anyway, Fabio Vieira, we'll give him a 7. Won the penalty, scored the penalty. Leandro Trossard. I just want to say this. Don't sleep on Trossard's performance on Saturday. That guy was balling when he came on. Oh, Elneny got an assist. I'm itching him up to a 7. Little flick on at the near post. I can't believe he still plays for us. I'll give him a 7. I'll give Vieira 7.5 for the goal. Don't sleep on Trossard's performance. That brother was twisting and turning like mad. I'm giving him 8 out of 10. I thought he was brilliant when he came on. He needs to do that when he starts, you know, because it's hard with Trossard because he's so good. I feel like he should be in the team. But the question always is, where do you play him? Do you play him over Martinelli? I don't know if you do. I would play him where you've been playing Havertz, personally. I want to give a special shout out to this guy, mate. Takahiro Tomiyasu. Who, for me, I'm going to be totally honest, right? I don't cap on this channel. Other channels are available. I don't cap. I'll tell you what I think. In the summer, I looked at Tomiyasu and thought, you could be heading out. I feel like his time was looking like it could have been done, because I was looking at it in the summer going, you've got Ben White, you've got Timber, this guy ain't getting a kick. His career's done. Timber gets injured and you take your opportunity, and the manager says he trains well, he smiles, all of that stuff, which managers love, all that great attitude. And I got to be honest, over the last couple of weeks, we've seen the Tomiyasu from the first season that I thought was a fantastic defender. But then the injuries, the lack of form, Ben White at right back, he kind of fell down the pecking order. I hold my hands up. He has come back. He has come back. He is brilliant. I don't want him to go nowhere. He is a brilliant defender. Scores his first goal for Arsenal, which I couldn't believe. I actually initially thought he'd scored before, but he hadn't. Scored his first goal for the football club. The guy just lost his mum. Now, you wouldn't even know it. You wouldn't know it until he got interviewed after the game. Guy lost his mum and says after the game, dedicates the goal to his mum. And I just thought, what a guy this guy is. This guy's brilliant. Absolutely. But he is, in terms of his attitude, the way he represents the club, plays left back, plays right back, plays centre back. The guy is fantastic. And I actually feel bad that I felt like he was done in the summer. But I'm giving him, do you know what? I'm giving him a 9 out of 10. Because to play under those circumstances, come on, score the goal. He was superb against Sevilla, gets dropped to the bench, rested, obviously, because we had more possession. So Zinchenko plays. Tomiyasu, mate, you are brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Nothing but respect for that guy. 9 out of 10. Superb. Let's go to the manager. Let's go to the manager. Yeah, he got it right. He got it spot on. I'm going to give the manager 9 out of 10. He couldn't have really done much better, could he? What could he have really done any better? We smashed them. 9 out of 10. 5-0. No problem. Made his changes early. You know, he tried his best with Havertz. He left him on for the whole game. He was obviously desperate for him to do something at home against inferior opposition. Yeah, great day all round. Great day all round. What I will say, and as I said at the start of the show, with Eddie, brilliant hat-trick. Strikers have to score goals. It's the best way to shut up anybody, including me. He keeps scoring goals, all of a sudden, we'll change our mind. What I will say, and as I said at the start of the show, Eddie's hat-trick does not convince me that he's the answer. It doesn't. That's just me keeping it 100. But what it can be for Eddie is a starting point, is a building block. Top players have consistency. That's the difference. Adama Traore on his day looks like a world-class winger. On other days, he looks like a greased-up turkey. You know what I mean? And that's the reason the man got released and ended up at Fulham. Because it's about consistency. What Eddie's got to do now is perform in the next game. Game after that. Try and score 1 in 2, 1 in 3. Not 3 in 30, which is what he'd done before Saturday afternoon. I know they weren't all starts. So, Eddie, congrats on the hat-trick. That's the best goal I've seen you score, that third one. He has to continue that. He has to continue that. So, big him up. But still a long way to go. But definitely a building block. Big on my brother Kev in the chat. He said, we struggled against these type of teams last season. Dispatching Sheffield United with a change side is impressive. And you're right, because we saw games like Bournemouth last year where we were struggling. We're having to score in the last minute to beat them. And I said, if we could score early against Sheffield United, we'll batter them. Because you could see they camped behind the edge of their penalty area, 10, 11 players behind the ball. They're difficult to break down. Now, if you can score early, the narrative changes. They have to come forward and attack a little bit. If they have to attack, they leave spaces, and they're not very good then. I'm actually really disappointed with Sheffield United, because I think when teams get promoted, you think that should mean so much to your club. And I feel like Sheffield United have come to this league and they're not offering anything. They sold a couple of their best players. But anyway, that's their prerogative. We did what we did. 5-0. It's our biggest victory. I believe that's the biggest victory we've had since Arteta's been manager in the league. I think 5-0 against Forest And that 5-0, I think we might have had another 5-0 before, but it equaled the record anyway. So, listen, good performance, great performance, boost the goal difference. We're now second top scorers in the league. Newcastle and Aston Villa are top goal scorers in the Prem. Arsenal, Liverpool and Brighton are joint second. So, all round, it was a great day at the office. Anyway, let's move on. Couple other things to talk about before we start to wind down, people. First of all, this man is going nowhere. I'm not leaving. The legend, AirPod Albert, was being linked with a move to Ajax to take over as Ajax manager. Ajax are set to appoint somebody else, and he's staying at the club. Very interesting when this looked like it was going to happen last week. Apparently, he was interviewed for the job, which would have been an unbelievable move for him. But it's interesting that there seems to be movement in the background of Arsenal. The team doctor went to Manchester United. Steve Round, who was head coach, he left the club. You know, and then obviously AirPod Albert looked like he was potentially leaving as well. And then we now know that Vinay is leaving Arsenal at the end of the season. So it's very interesting that we've sort of got to a place of stability and a lot of the people in the background are leaving. Now, is that them just deciding to go and take another option? Or are Arsenal looking to say, right, we've reached a certain point now, we've got to maybe upgrade again? I don't know. But AirPod Albert stays. The man, the myth, the legend. What does he listen to, people? But listen, he stays at the club. And I think he's good, to be honest. I do think he's good. But yeah, he isn't taking the Ajax job, people. AirPod likes the heated seats with Wi-Fi. Yeah, man. He said, I'm good here, man. He said, listen, you get me a new pair of AirPods, the wireless ones, and I'm staying. I ain't going nowhere. Big up Ali Lewis, who said, good morning from Antigua. Big up yourself, bro. I've actually been to Antigua before, actually. The beaches there are unbelievable. People saying he's listening to Beanie Man. Oh, na, 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 na. Oh, na. It's all about na. Oh, wait till you see him start dancing, man. Could be a function of when you do well, you get bigger, better offers. Yeah, listen, assistant managers, head coaches, they're going to want to take managers' jobs eventually. Hey, big up E-Ross. I forgot to say, E-Ross, I believe, went to the game on the weekend. And you chose a good one to go to, man. Jeez, 5 goals. You definitely picked a good weekend to go and watch. And you paid enough for your ticket, bro, by the way. It really is English tax Ross. Anyway, let's talk about potential signings, people. We know we're a good team, but we also know 1 or 2 improvements in January. Who knows what this team can achieve. And Arsenal today being linked with a move for Martin Zubimendi. We've spoken about him a few times. The Real Sociedad centre midfielder, Spanish international, being linked today with a January move to Arsenal. Now, I know a lot of you in the comments have spoken about him before, and I've seen him a little bit, not a great deal, but I've tried to watch a little bit of Sociedad just to see what he's really about. Real Sociedad currently 5th in La Liga. They're 5 points behind Barcelona, who are 5th. Obviously, Kieran Tierney is there on loan, so we've got a good relationship with them. Tierney is obviously out injured. What do you guys think about this one? Obviously, he's got this release clause in his contract. Barcelona wanted to sign him in the summer as a replacement for Busquets, who went to Inter Miami with Messi. But they couldn't afford him due to the financial restrictions that they're under. Mikel Arteta is apparently a huge fan of Zubimendi. He's a deep-lying, creative midfielder. Got some strength, some bite in the tackle. He's not the biggest, but he's well sought after. And I do think Arsenal need another central midfield player. I'm just, you look at Partey, constantly injured. Jorginho, for me, is not the answer. And also, Declan Rice, we're relying on the guy so heavy at the moment. There's always that risk of overplaying him. So we do need another option. El Neni is not the answer, of course. And El Neni and Partey go to AFCON in January. So would you go for Zubimendi? Big Up Lay said he's very good, not as physical as Partey, but he can pass like him. And we haven't really got that technician in the middle and midfield, have we? We haven't had that since maybe Santi Cazorla or maybe Cesc Fabregas. You know, we haven't got that guy who could pick the ball up in midfield and pass the ball, string the moves together. A few super chats. Simon said both attacking midfielders were bypassed in the first half with us sending the ball to the wings. That's a good point. George Guna said Rolls Royce in the defence and the Rolls Royce in midfield. You're right, Declan Rice and Saliba. Mozzie says, just opened the stream and seen Eddie Photoshop with Omri. I might need to report you, Curtis. You need to be stopped. Listen, it can get wild here, people. Information and entertainment. You'll learn something. Hopefully you'll laugh about something, you know. Otherwise, it's an unsuccessful stream. Big up yourself, Mozzie. Alex said, Big C, did you watch the Fury v Francis fight? Yeah, I spoke about it quite a bit more detail at the start, but I think, listen, we all know who won that fight. Let's keep it 100. Zubimendi, Elliot said the midfield kitchen will be bare very soon. Listen, I'm being honest, I'm concerned about January. We know for a fact that Partey and El Neni are going AFCON. That leaves us solely with Rice and Jorginho. One suspension, one injury, you know, and it's Jorginho in the 6 role. And that's all we've got. You have got to go and get a central midfielder in January. You know, there's not enough there. And get somebody in. My concern is, do we have the money? Do we have the money to go and get a number of players in? Neto injured at the weekend. Looks like he's done his hamstring. Now, hamstring could be 2 weeks, could be 2 months, could be 3 months. We don't know. This was always the concern with Neto. Is he going to be able to stay fit for a prolonged period of time? Very interesting that 2 players that Arsenal have been linked with over the past few months both got injured over the weekend. Tchouaméni out for 2 months. Got injured at the weekend in El Clasico. Jude Bellingham, of course, bullying that league as usual. 2 goals, gets the winner. And then Neto pulls his hamstring. So this is what I'm saying. You've got to be very careful. I love Thomas Partey as a player. I think he's outstanding. But the fact the guy's so injury prone, you just had enough of players that I don't want injury prone players coming to Arsenal. But the problem with Arsenal sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes we sign players who aren't injury prone. And they come to Arsenal and they become injury prone. You know, different leagues, different styles of play, different demands. It can affect, you know, the way, the amount of running you're doing and stuff like that. So it's very difficult to tell, innit? Listen, Zubimendi, like I said, I haven't seen a great deal of him, but what I have seen, I think he's a very good player. Has this release clause in his contract. Apparently, he rejected the move to Arsenal last season as he wanted to play in the Champions League this season with Sociedad. Now, Sociedad are still in the Champions League. So I just wonder, is he going to want to leave during the season when his whole thing was, I want to stay here to go into the Champions League with this club? I mean, they're currently top of their Champions League group with Inter, and they're 4 points clear of 3rd place Salzburg. So they look like they're going to qualify. So I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure Zubimendi will be desperate to leave them in January. The fact Barcelona wanted him but couldn't afford him, maybe they will say wait until the summer. And on top of that, is he going to want to leave when he said, I want to play in the Champions League with Sociedad? If they get through to the next round, why would he then walk out? So I don't know. I don't know whether Zubimendi will leave, but Arsenal are definitely being linked with him today. Simon said, Neto isn't an option. Previous ankle and knee injuries and now a high up tear on the hamstring. Minimum 12 weeks. Could have tore it off the bone. Listen, if it's at that point, you've got to walk away. It doesn't matter how good, how exciting he is. We can't afford to bring players in like that. We got no time for that. Go and get somebody else. Jitesh said, isn't it funny how when Gary O'Driscoll went to Man United, they had injury crisis, masterclass by Arteta. I don't know about Zubi. He seems lightweight. I've always said, if you're a creative player and you're lightweight in the Premier League, you've got to be exceptional on the ball. You can only get away with that if you're David Silva, if you're Santi Cazorla, if you're a very clever player and you know how to move and you get between the lines. Otherwise, you end up getting bullied. You get bullied if you're just small, and Torreira in the end looked like physically he didn't enjoy the Premier League. So Zubimendi does look a bit small, but it's difficult to tell how good he would be in the Prem until you get him here, I suppose. That's the issue. Gary O'Driscoll masterclass. He goes to Man United as their doctor, and they end up with Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire at centre-back in a Manchester derby. If that doesn't scream masterclass, then nothing does. Should they go in for Douglas Luiz? I like Douglas Luiz. I suppose it depends on the amount of money we're willing to spend. If we're spending big money, I don't want Douglas Luiz. I think we can get better. I want Barella. I want Tchouameni. I want somebody like that. If you're looking for a £30 million centre mid squad player in January, then Luiz isn't a bad option. As I've said before, I like Fofana in Monaco. Big up Laser Gaming. Make sure you follow him. Quality on YouTube with FIFA or EAFC. He said you'll be able to play football in GTA 6 RIP FIFA. There you go. We'll just have a street. We'll have a street game. Nick someone's car and then play five-a-side. So Douglas Luiz for me. Listen, I'd take him, but he wouldn't be at the top of the list. Someone said Fabregas not that big, but as I said, he is exceptional on the ball. He knows how to get out of... He wasn't that small. Curtis, our United comedy gold. Could Daichi fix them? I mean, come on, mate. If I went to United, the first thing I do, I'll just whack Harry Maguire around his big slab. I'll say, sort your big head out and get out the football club. You couldn't defend the fridge, mate. In fact, you are a fridge. Johnny Evans, what's the point in being in defence? He's older than me, mate. He's 57 years old. He got relegated about 7 years ago. What the hell is going on? And Anthony, mate, is the worst winger I've ever seen in my life. I'm convinced he's not Brazilian. He's got to be from Bolivia. So there we go, mate. A bit of Daichi. There you go. Big up Cormac. Anyway, we move. Slabhead v Daichi, people. Slabhead versus Daichi. I have to admit, going to be totally honest. And I think most Arsenal fans in the comments, we're going to be honest here. Every time Eddie scored, I celebrate, goal, happy for him, shameless settings, want him to do well. And then 30 seconds later, I get this flash in my head. And that says, uh-oh, Eddie just scored. We ain't buying a striker in January. He'll sign a new contract. We ain't getting rid of him. And we're definitely not going to buy this man. So, genuine question. If Eddie hits a little run of form now, I think people have to understand, and I've just realised this looking at that picture. Eddie and Nketiah ended that game with the armband on. Armband and the match ball. Arteta had the biggest smile on his face. He was waxing lyrical about him in the press conference. I'll be honest, I feel like we're further away from Ivan Toney than we probably have ever been right now. I'm also going to be honest. I read a story today that Chelsea are, very much in for Ivan Toney. So if you've got a Chelsea with an owner that can't stop spending money, Chelsea desperately need a striker. They've only got Nicholas Jackson. We've got Jesus and we've got Eddie Nketiah. And you know what this manager thinks? You do the maths, people. It doesn't look good, does it? It doesn't look good. I'm going to keep it 100. For me, makes no difference. In fact, that hat-trick, I'm asking for an extra 8 million for anybody that wants him. But to this manager, it'll probably make him unsellable now. So that's the problem. But what we can't do, I've always said this club should not get bogged down in situations where the manager, it's like he likes the player too much. Now, the thing with the manager, at times he's ruthless. Signs Ramsdale, don't think he's good enough, bench, don't care, you're not playing. Ruthless, don't mind that. Aubameyang, the guy that won you the FA Cup, best player at the team at the time, you're turning up late, you're gone, and take your gold Lambo with you. Ruthless. Didn't like it at the time, but it's working out, so fair play. But then you got somebody like Eddie and you're like, you don't want to be ruthless with him because you can tell that he's got a love for him. He probably feels like a father figure to him. He's come through the system. He trains well. Inverted ruthlessness, as Sam said. It's absolute banger, that. You know, so it's like he picks and chooses. And I feel like with Eddie, there's no thought process there that he would want to upgrade him. He wants to prove to everyone that he can make Eddie a top player. You know, so I'm concerned. I'm concerned. Realistically, you've got Gabriel Jesus, who's one of the 5 captains, who's on 200 grand a week, and the manager loves him. And you've got Eddie, who he seems to absolutely love this kid to the bones. Is he going to spend 70 million on Tony in January? I just don't know if he is. I don't know if he is. And if he ends up at Chelsea, you know, we're then in a situation. Leahy said, I think Mikel sees himself in players like Eddie. Not the most skillful, but Eddie. I think you're right there, Leahy. That is a brilliant point. That is a brilliant point. Because Arteta, I've said it before and I said it again. When Arteta signed for Arsenal, I was an angry man that day. I'm going to be totally... I remember the day. We'd lost 8-2 to Man United at Old Trafford. Transfer deadline day, we bought about 7 players. Panic buy settings. Andre Santos, Mertesacker, Benayoun, and Arteta. Arteta replaced Fabregas. I mean, that's like selling your Lamborghini Urus and buying a scooter, an electric scooter. I mean... There's no comparison. Yeah, they both travel. Yeah, they're both Spanish midfielders. But one of them's elite. The other one just, you know, rolls on 2 wheels. Not very quick. I was an angry man that day. And I think you're right, Leigh. I'm going to be honest. I think he looks at Eddie and thinks, you know what, mate? Your work rate reminds me of me. You never stop running. You're always smiling. You stay on the training ground longer. There's the 14. There's the 100 grand. The world's your oyster. LSU said, we'll still go for a striker. Eddie cementing his spot as 3rd. If you sell Eddie, you're making Havertz your backup in the centre of the front line. Do we want that? But is it... I mean, I hope you're right there. Eddie is cementing. I can't imagine Arsenal would have 3 strikers. Eddie on 100 grand. Jesus on 200. And potentially Tony on... Tony's on about 90 grand at Brentford, so you're going to have to give him probably 150, 160. I can't imagine Arsenal running with 3 strikers when we only play 1 up front. I'd like to think we could, but it would surprise me. Chris said we were never going to sign Tony. Arteta loves Eddie. A hat-trick against bottom of the table Sheffield means nothing. I mean, it means something, but it doesn't mean enough to make me change my mind on anything. I would still upgrade him. Simon said the Raya deal showed we are at the financial fair play limit. If we want to buy, we need to sell someone whose we owe nothing on. So that's only 1 or 2 Hale Enders. Yeah. And I think he's more likely to boot out Smith Rowe than he is Nketiah, if I'm being totally honest. Jesus should back up for Saka. That's a good point, yeah, I suppose, if we don't buy another right winger. Will be interesting. It will be interesting if that changes anything moving forward. Right, people, it's that time. It is the afternoon. I don't know if you've had dinner, breakfast, lunch, no matter where you are in the world. If you're a bit peckish, it is waffle settings time, people, with the man himself, Mickey Rouse, the boss, after the 5-0 victory. We'll speak to a proud stepdad as he speaks about Eddie and Nketiah's hat-trick. And obviously, we'll start looking ahead to Wednesday night's game against West Ham. And I want to know your thoughts and feelings on that. He's a happy man there, Mikel. And we'll just briefly go through this. Co-man music. The boss, the Teflon Don himself. He survived 8th place. If that wasn't bad enough, he said, drop me 8th again. They ain't getting me out. It's COVID. There's no fans. I ain't leaving. He then said, I don't want 4th. Give it to Tottenham. I'll finish 5th. He still survived. He lost to Emery in the Europa League semi-final, despite Emery being sacked by Arsenal. He said, it don't matter. I brought Willian on for Aubameyang with 10 minutes to go. I can't believe it, but I'm still not going. He then went into a title challenge that seemed like a one-horse race at the end, and we fell at the final hurdle. He ain't going nowhere. This man is Teflon, people. The Teflon Don himself. On what it's like to be part of Arsenal as a player, now as a manager. Oh, yeah, I need to get that picture back, actually, the Arteta cone, man. I have got that picture still. He said, I'm privileged, grateful to the people who gave me a chance. When I was a player, Arsenal gave me the chance to play for the club, and now the board have given me a chance as manager. Skip it. On how Eddie Nketiah responded to people who say he's not top level. I mean, how dare the Arsenal fan base question it? I mean, you've never heard me question him as a top level player. To be honest, I've always just said he's a bottom level player, so I never had to question him. But hey, we move, people. He said, well, to me, he is top level. Oh, that's it. Ivan Toney deal's off. It's done. It was never happening. He's going to go to Chelsea. You're going to stick with him. Jesus going to get injured again. We're going to be at the Bernabeu with Eddie. You can see it. Champions League quarter-final. He started 9 out of our 10 Premier League games, so that tells you how much we trust him and the importance he has in this team. I'm really happy for him. An academy player to experience a Premier League hat-trick. He needs to enjoy the moment. He fully deserves it. Hopefully there are many more to come. He's not going nowhere. It's Leonardo DiCaprio, Wolf of Wall Street. He's not leaving. He ain't going nowhere, people. I'm telling you. Just get 14 on the back of your shirt and be done with it. Oh, dear. Hopefully there's many more to come. Oh, gosh. Anyway, let's get through this waffle. How difficult it is for a promoted side to compete in the Prem. He said, this is the best and most competitive league. It's difficult for us. Yeah, skip it. On Arsenal winning the physical battles, that shows the mentality and determination. Skip. On another assist for Rice, if he's shown us what he can do in the final third. Yeah, for sure. This is the next step on things we can evolve. Help him to improve. He's turning to a higher level Pokemon, people. He's evolving. He's going to be Charizard by the end of the season. Goodbye, Tony. Nyamming waffles, sipping syrup, chopped blades served up by Nutty Eddie with that cone man music. Big up yourself, bro. The reason we sold Ballon is because we've had 3 strikers. Arteta is very stubborn when it comes to players he favours. Eddie won't leave. He won't. He won't. Alberto said, I got a headache. Eddie ain't going, bro. Eddie ain't going nowhere. Don't go anywhere. That's what Arteta's saying to him, man. He don't want him to go anywhere. On giving the players a jolt ahead of the game. Pause. They came from the national teams. We beat City in the international break. They had to go to the bridge. Blah, blah, blah. On why Odegaard didn't feature. He's disappeared, I think. We went through all the minutes everybody has played. He's played an enormous amount. He's carrying a little thing that wasn't very comfortable in the games. We have players with enormous quality and we have to trust them. We believe it was... He's carrying that bucket, mate. He's knocking on the doors, trying to collect sweets, trick or treating. That's what it is. On Saka switching wings during the games, he said, there were certain behaviours of the opponent that could allow certain spaces. It's boring. On how Nketiah compares to Jesus, I don't like comparing. They are different. Eddie brings different qualities. He's got an eye for goal. You look at the stats. He's remarkable. Gosh. I need a sip of the drink. Like, it's only orange juice, but we need some more red stripe. We're not getting Tony. No one's there, but I just love shouting that, people. It's like I'm in a bar asking for another drink. He said he's remarkable. He needs minutes, opportunities in service. If he gets that, he's going to score goals, that's for sure. He doesn't even mention Gabriel Jesus. He's that caught up in the love fest of Eddie. Please, somebody just ask him about Ivan Toney. Say something. On what level Nketiah can reach, he said, I don't know. He's already playing for Arsenal. He started games in the Premier League. He's already really good and he can be better. The best thing he's got along with the talent is his mentality. It's incredible. When he has that mentality and that talent, he's going to get much better. We might as well have the testimonial next week. He ain't going. He's going to be here for 10 years. He's going absolutely nowhere. He's calling him incredible. I've got a headache. It's Monday. On Tomiyasu, he said, I love him. Everyone loves him. He's one of the most popular in the dressing room. You can see the reaction of the teammates towards him. They wanted him there at the front, enjoying it. He's always very reserved, always doing things for the rest of the boys. He's a fantastic team player. On how tough the load has been on Odegaard, I think he's enjoyed a lot. The last couple of weeks been really good for the team. He's playing every game, as you said, a difficult period with the national team. It was a big blow what happened. This is football. He needs to get on with it. He's a massive player for us. Obviously, Norway missed out on the Euros. Right, no more waffle. We're all full. There's only so much of that you can take. And it was cap, and more cap. This week, Arsenal play West Ham, people, in the Carabao Cup on Wednesday night. And I kind of want to know what your viewpoint is on that game, because there are a lot of people saying that Arsenal should make a lot of changes for this game. And I get that. It's the Carabao Cup. I've got a very different opinion on the Carabao Cup this year. I really want Arsenal to win that, because I look at Man City all the time and I think they use it as such a confidence boost for the rest of the season. If it works for Pep, why can't it work for us? Now, I understand that they have got more players than us, or a higher level of players, I would say, in the squad. Obviously, we play them this week, 7:30 on Wednesday. It is on Sky. I will be doing a watch along. I'll be live from 6:30 for that one, so make sure you tune in. I want to see Arsenal win this. I really do. I'm sick of just throwing trophies away. Fitz said, what amazes me is that Eddie is trash most of the time. He does well in one game against an awful side, and Arteta acts as if the hat-trick was in the Champions League final. Eddie and Havertz will cost Arteta his job. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You know, we got to put it in perspective, but, you know, it is what it is. I want to see a good team. I think you will see Ramsdale given a game. I've seen a lot of people saying Declan Rice, rest him. And I get it, but I think he'll be desperate to play. First time back at West Ham after leaving. I genuinely think he'll be saying to the manager, please play me in this game. I think he will want to play him. I think he will want to play. Maybe the manager will pull him out for his own good and just put him on the bench, but I think he will play. I'd like to see Rowe play. I think Eddie will start through the middle unless you want to give Havertz a game. I'd like to see Trossard get some game time as well. So I think we got a good enough squad. Now, West Ham lost yesterday against Everton, which is a poor result for them at home. So how's Moyes going to respond to that? Does he say as a punishment, full strength for them to win? I think West Ham will make changes. I do, and I think we'll have a better team on the pitch than them. Ramsdale, Ben White, Gabriel, Kivior, Zinni, Jorginho, Vieira, ESR, Nelson, Trossard, Havertz. Not bad. I think Fitz should just replace Vinay. Listen, he says it as it is. He says what he thinks. Daniel said Partey is 45. It's official. He's not that young, mate. I'm telling you. He was 45 about 7 years ago, I think. Cash said, I just recently found out we're currently in the round of 16. We've got to go for it, go strong and win. Give ourselves as many opportunities. You've got to think Manchester City are out of the competition. There's no way we should be looking down our nose at the Carabao Cup. Rest the ones that maybe really need a rest. But I would play the majority of them. Odegaard didn't play on Saturday. He can probably play. Canadian Gooner said, with Neto injured, bring Kubo to the carpet. A lot of people are saying Kubo. And get him in. He's a good player. Looks very sharp. Carl said, I know off topic, but any thoughts on Ajax? I read something the other day that Ajax are near the bottom of the league. Is that actually true? The Dutch league table. I think somebody said they're actually bottom of the league. Ajax are bottom of the league. No wonder AirPod Albert's getting the job. They've lost 5 out of 5. Well, their last 5 games, they've won 1 out of 8. Gee, Ajax are bottom of the league. That is nuts. The Cone Man said, don't you dare slander Eddie. It's my decision. I swear the staff were on acid giving him the 14 shirt, says Trixie, who's obviously still not the biggest Nketiah fan. Wow, Ajax are having an absolute nightmare. Obviously, they sold Timber, sold Kudus. They're all over the place. Jordan said Kubo is too small. Listen, if he's good, maybe he's still good enough. Pat said, Curtis, you didn't mention this, but Pep and his squad won't get that confidence boost from the Carabao Cup. Exactly. Usually they've got that wrapped up by about March. Although they didn't win it last year and they won the treble. You know, Man United won it, so maybe they don't need it anymore. But anyway, people, thank you very much for tuning in today. Great show as always. Shameless as ever. Yeah, Eddie on the green screen, Eddie on the intro. It's as shameless as ever. But we move Wednesday night, looking ahead to that. We'll be back tomorrow, 2 p.m. tomorrow. And then we'll be back on Wednesday. It's a 7:30 kickoff, so we'll be live from 6:30. And looking forward to that game. It's a big week for Arsenal. West Ham on Wednesday in the Carabao Cup. Big up Broads in the chat. Which is a game that I want to win. If we win that game, we're in the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. No Man City, anything can happen from that point. Bear in mind, Newcastle play Man United as well, so that's another good team getting knocked out. Well, I say good. Man United, not so much good. And then we go to Newcastle on Saturday, people, away from home, 5:30 kickoff. So it's a big week for the Gunners. 2 wins would put us in a fantastic position. Next week, we play Sevilla in the Champions League. A win there would pretty much get us qualified. And then Burnley before the international break at home. So can we win all 4? Listen, people, thank you very much for tuning in. 2,000 of you in the chat. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like on the way out. And I will see you all tomorrow, people. Bless.